Welcome back, Dominique Wofford. You were amazing when you're here at Volley for Life. Obviously, you joined us for maybe about a year. I know there's a lot of people just want to know what happened to Dom. What is she up to? So you did signing day, and then it was the day to take off. Like I just want people to hear that experience and just know kind of how it feels.
College ball, there's high highs and there's like some deep lows at the same time. And
really,
as much as people say your success doesn't define you, it kind of does. And like the team dynamic is insane. It is like beyond anything I've experienced in a good way, like a very positive.
So kind of like a cult. Like
no,
a cult
in a
following?
positive
Oh,
way.
like a family.
Yeah,
like a family.
Something like
okay,
that.
Cool. So you're able to connect with a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we all are in it for like the same reasons. And even though like if I'm falling short behind, my teammates are right there with me to like bring it
kind of
back
lift
up.
you up.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody wants to know, right? Like, so it's such a big deal to get signed, right?
Yeah.
And to commit and then to go to college, and obviously you know, you're going there for a reason, obviously for education, but sports is a huge plus.
Yeah.
But one question I have is like, what is the competition level like? Like, do you feel like it's very similar to what you're at 18U and then kind of moving up into college? Or do you feel like it's just a whole nother level even above that?
I don't feel like it's necessarily a whole different level. I would say it's more like controlled. That's like, to sum it up in one word, it's controlled. Like, obviously out here we're all trying new things and doing different like techniques, or like, you know, like we all play as a different player, I feel like with our own ways. But in college they really try and get everyone like, this is how you do it and it's this way only. In like a good way though, like we're all on the same page on what we need to do and what we need to be doing. And so we all have to be doing the same thing to get there. And so I feel like it's just all very controlled, and like there's not a lot of like, it's just not messy. It's just like, it's just
like everything has to be perfect?
Kinda, yeah. And like, there's not a lot of room for errors. And obviously playing juniors, like error central in the best way, because we're all learning and like.
Right, yeah. So you're able to make mistakes, you know, prior to getting to that point.
Yeah.
But once you get there, the expectation is
it's like
eliminate the errors.
Yes.
Right.
It's through the roof.
Like everything has to be specific.
Yeah.
I did have an opportunity to talk to Annie Cost, and I know this isn't her interview, but I did have a chance to talk to her, and she said that she's like, college is way harder. She said as far as like they yell at you, like they expect so much out of you. She said one of the things that she really liked was that they have such specific instructions that, you know, if you mess up on something, you know exactly why you're in trouble, and not necessarily getting yelled at because you just did bad.
For sure. I would say it's the same for us, and like we go as far as we're all like we'll be on 4 different courts, but we're all passing from the same side. Where all the balls are only on one side. Like it's not all the different courts are doing
different things. So everybody's focusing on like one skill set.
And so like all the balls will be on the back, like this half of the courts only. And like it's so like nitpicky. And at first I was like, what the heck? Like,
so you're hitting the spots and everything, but they're still like, no.
Well, yeah, and like I was like, what the heck? Like, why does it matter if we're all serving from the same side or not? But really, it's just like it builds team chemistry. It also allows so everyone's on the exact same page.
So the coaches have like a strategy. Is that what it seems like? And so because I know like different coaches are different, right? They all coach differently. Do you feel like they coach differently than you were kind of coached and taught here at Volley for Life?
Oh, I mean, Brian is so unique. I feel like a lot of us who played for Brian could say the same. I mean, I feel like ours is like, I don't know how to explain Brian. It's like crazy, but in the best way possible. But like our coaches at UAB, they're so like calm and just straight to the point. And like, obviously we can joke around, but it's so like. But
it's like very professional.
Yeah. And like one thing that was different was I'd go to practice and talk about things that did not include volleyball. And the girls, like the older girls would be like, Dom, like, we're not talking about that right now. Like right now we're just here.
So it's straight business from what it sounds like. 100%. You go to college, like you're almost like a pro athlete. Like you're expected to perform at a high level and just be in the game.
Exactly.
Do you have any kind of like foods or anything that you eat that you say like really prep you for a game? Or do you feel like there's sympathy foods you have to eat after a bad game?
Sympathy foods, hot Cheetos. Anything. Just saying.
Sweet.
But like before games, I feel like I haven't been playing enough to like learn. Like I've been trying different things, and like I would have coffee and a bagel, and like
Just trying to see what works good through those games.
It's so early. We only played in 4 events in preseason, but it's so early where like I still haven't pinpoint like my perfect routine yet, and like that's normal for a lot of freshmen. I feel like we're all just trying to do new things and figure out what works best.
So
for
what
us.
do you think? I've heard somebody say that they eat pasta in the morning before games.
Oh, really?
Do you feel like that's a good solution before a game?
I mean, if it works
like
for
tournament day.
if it works for them, then sure, why not?
Okay,
you know?
pasta. And what about McDonald's oatmeal? Do you feel like that's a good idea?
What's different between McDonald's oatmeal and regular oatmeal?
I assume it's more sugary. I'm not sure.
Maybe. But I mean, that's better than what you could be eating.
That's true.
I mean, it's oatmeal. You can't really go wrong with oatmeal.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
Okay, so you're in college now. What is kind of like, is it a dorm life? Like, what is your,
I love
what's your
dorm
daily
life.
routine? Like, do you get food? Like, do they starve you?
Yeah.
Like,
so we,
do they
so
let
like
you
a
grab
normal
water when you need
volleyball
water?
day. So like a hard volleyball day would be wake up at 5:30, lift at 6:30, lift from 6:30 to 7, and then if we have morning practice, we'll practice from 8 to 11 in 20-hour weeks, so that's 3 hours. And in between lift and practice, we have like a fuel station, it's called Blazer Fuel, and they have like overnight oats, bagels, bananas, smoothies sometimes, protein balls.
So you guys get fed every day? Like you have a meal every day, or?
Well, we get like little snacks like that.
Oh,
and we
okay,
can,
gotcha.
athletes can go into that anytime they want, and it's always fueled with like good stuff, and like we'll grab crackers for during practice.
So no like sandwiches or anything like that,
No, but we have
right?
like peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, gotcha.
And they'll give us like eggs some mornings and stuff. But it's like it's a good amount for the quick in between practice and lift.
Right, because you're not like trying to have a massive
Exactly,
meal.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And we can take stuff to eat during practice, which is what we'll do. So then after practice, some of us like we'll go to the commons, which is like the dining hall, and we'll eat lunch or breakfast or whatever they have, and then that's basically it. Like we have like the dorm food, like the dining hall food, but other than that, on tournament days we do get fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So it's just like high school, right? Like you'll have like a meal. Well, for football, at least we got a meal before we went out to play that afternoon.
Yeah. So whenever we're at tournaments, we'll get usually like a hotel breakfast, which they're pretty good in my opinion. I love hotel food.
Oh yeah, I mean who doesn't? I like their breakfast.
Exactly.
Their breakfast is awesome.
Exactly.
I think that's all they serve anyway. But
and then we'll get a lunch from a restaurant that like they pick, and then we put in our orders, and there's really no limit on what we get.
Really cool.
Like money wise or anything.
Okay.
And then so they just want us to eat like what will help us. And then we usually get a dinner if we're staying overnight, or even if we're going home, we'll still get a dinner on the way back.
Okay, cool. So game day, like you're taking care.
Oh, 100%,
like, you're good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about mental prep. I mean, we have so many people that are trying to aspire to go to college.
Yeah.
You know, and they think this is like this is their dream, is to get to where you're at. So like, what kind of advice do you have for them? Whether it's on a mental prep side, whether it's just like, hey, like this is what you should work on, like this is what you should focus on. Like, what do you think?
I would say just like a big part, like you can be good skill wise, but if you're not good mentally, like you will like just fall to the ground immediately. Like I would say that's a big thing, like to be like, I'm like watching them to like
you're just trying to say like, who should I like, and I want you to like, if you can, because they're gonna see this later, and I would love for them to just look you right in the eye, and then you just tell them exactly like what you'd say to help prep them.
I mean, really, it's just like your mental game. Like you can be the best player out there skill wise, but like if you're not mentally preparing, if you're not in the right headspace, like it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like I've seen great girls already who have just like fallen because their mental game was really weak. And so like they're great players. Like I love these players, but like I've just seen them like I said, just completely fall because they're mental.
What do you think that maybe they should do to kind of help improve that? Because I mean that's a hard thing, right? It's mental. How do you, like, is there something that they teach in training in college? Like, how do you work on a mental aspect?
It really just depends on who you are. Like a few of my teammates will like sit down and fully meditate before a game. Like they will crisscross applesauce, talking hands up, and just breathe.
Oh wow! Can we
like,
see this? What does that look like?
They're just sitting here and they're just like back straight, and they're just like, and they don't talk to anyone, and they just breathe.
And they just like try to block everyone out and meditate.
Exactly, yeah. And I know Max works for people.
That's huge. Yeah. Meditation is key. Okay. I don't know, but Dom knows. Okay. we go.
For me, like if I'm warming up before a game, I just really focus on like being in the present. That's a big thing for me. Like I won't think about yesterday's practice and how awful it was or how great it was. And I won't think about this game and who I'm about to play. If I'm playing like LSU,
Right.
I'm not thinking about those things.
Jeez, that's a big name brand.
Yeah, we played them like 3 times.
Oh my gosh, you guys are in the same conference or something?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, but anyways, so I'm just working on like
Yeah, go
being
get
in the
'em.
present,
Go
and
get them
that's what
Tigers.
works for me is just staying in the present. Like I won't being served at, just focus on that pass first, and
Yeah.
that's helped a lot. I
You
would
kind
say.
of just shake off whatever happened the previous play or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
So every day, so it's just taking one step at a time.
Yeah.
Kind of living in the flow, I guess, of that moment.
Yeah,
And not
exactly.
worrying about anything
Yeah.
else, right? Cool. Well, I appreciate it, Dom. That was awesome.
Anytime.
Thank you for coming all the way out from Alabama. You're in
Anytime.
Birmingham.
I'm so excited to
And
be
you're
back.
here, and yeah, we're all excited. I know we got you. I'll roll the clips right now. You guys will see Dom showed up to practice. Roll the clips now.
I look at you and it's easy to see. You are the someone I've been trying to
Her
meet.
name is Dom. She's
I got
famous,
your
and she
number,
is
won't
here
you
to join
pick up
us
the phone?
all the way from UAB.
Don't leave me hanging on the dial tone. Think back to the night that we met.